Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Ask Simmo, proudly brought to you by ECU. Got a question for the coach? Then check out the Facebook or Twitter feed as soon as possible. Simmo, look, I think we should start on the big moment of the round, and that's that's my debut in the WAFL.
What a surprise this is going to be about you today. What a surprise.
Look, I'll let the people ask the question soon, but this is where it started, wasn't it? You had a laugh on this program, Ask Simmo. I said I was available.
I didn't realise you were serious when you said you put your hand up. We actually, from a club point of view, glad you played. Yeah. How do you feel?
Sore, old.
Where?
My back.
Right.
I feel like I got an old man's back.
Right, okay.
I landed, instead of landing straight up and down in a marking contest, I landed at an L shape with my torso on one side and my legs on the other. But you know, I thought from a club perspective, it was a bigger and better fight by the WAFL guys, and that probably flows into the AFL side as well. It was in a position, but in both games, they both could have kept going north. Yeah,
I mean, that's probably where we're at, in particular the WAFL Eagles. It's how many quarters can we win? What are you chasing with the stats we're looking at, and with some of the kids playing, it's a challenge. So I was going to say, I didn't think injury come from your team defence. But
we're happy with the team. I was going to ask maybe as the coach.
You remind me of Wayne Carey back in the day. Just I thought everyone get out at 50, and I'll just wait here for a turnover. No, it was commendable, mate. We do appreciate it.
Better or worse? Like just one word. Better or worse than you thought I'd do? Me personally.
Oh no, I thought you were going to go as good as you went.
Okay.
Yeah. You blew up at times. You had a shot in the first quarter. Kicked the goal in the second half. Yeah. No, you gave us something to kick to.
Okay, thank you, mate. Let's get back into the AFL side of things, and speaking about that Port Adelaide game. Positives?
Positives. Look, it was actually frustrating looking at the vision, looking back on it, at some of the turnovers we gave up and the scores that we gave the other way when we in a position to hit a target inside 50 or kick a goal, and we turned the ball over and they made us pay. So, you know, the second quarter they had 10 shots, and we've got to work on ways to try and stop that momentum. But the other three quarters in particular, the way we want to go about it, we saw signs again. So just not good enough to win at the moment, which we need to turn around as quick as we can, albeit it's pretty challenging. Yeah,
I can understand that. From a player perspective, I mean, my positives from the game, Jake Waterman was quite good again. Bailey Williams is still developing as that ruckman.
Yep.
Culley, of course, kicks his 4. There are some individual player performances that are looking quite positive. Oscar Allen again.
Yeah, and there's glimpses of some of our youth coming through still. And I think after Luke went down, we're probably the youngest team for the round, even with him in the side. So that's sort of new for me personally, as well as some of our senior players that are still in the side. So working on that with our youth, trying to get consistent with what we're chasing, and some of the individuals. Yeah, Jai going forward. Have you kicked 4 before?
No.
Okay. Right. Going forward for the first time. No. Going forward for in his 10th game or whatever, and kicking 4. And Bailey, he's been holding on to the ruck on his own for 4 or 5 weeks now, and he had 13 clearances, 20 possessions, like a really, really good day. Which 5 weeks ago you would have thought, geez, that's going to take a while to get to. So they're really pleasing signs for the future.
Let's get to the questions from our audience. This show's all about. You had some criticism last week. It was Ask Scully, Ask Simmo. So get your questions in. Make sure they're in early, and we'll ask him the good ones. Asman asks, it's been good to see the new game plan coming through. What has been the most pleasing thing you've seen this year?
Well, when it works, I think we're exciting to watch, and we're seeing some results with a bit more supply in the front half. Albeit we're just not doing it for 4 quarters. So the contest method that we're chasing is a bit boring. People don't really know, the detail of which you've got to go to now. The game's so contested, so every contest you've got to be detailed with. And I see the consistency more and more every week. It's, a quarter here, then it's a half, then it's 3 quarters, and it's with our younger guys. So yeah, that's really pleasing. And then breaking the mould from what we've done a few years ago with our ball movement, trying to go a bit quicker, still falls into some older players' hands, and they go back to the premiership style, which we're trying to move on from because it doesn't work anymore.
Okay, very good. Steve, do you think you will find yourself coaching from the bench more this year? You look like you enjoy it.
I reckon on the weekend, the first half I coached from the bench, and you can connect with the players a lot more, and there was some advice or some guidance, or even some things I can do for a player who I think Zane True didn't really get much of the ball in the first half, and it was okay, well, let's make him a target player around the stoppages. So just stuff like that you can do as a coach on the bench. But then I miss things from a strategic point of view, which our coaches pick up on, that sometimes that's hard to communicate. So second half, I went up top and worked with the coaches, and the first half I was with the players.
What do you like more? Which ones? I know you're going to say balance, but if you had to
I
pick
just
one.
want to win, so it's like whatever I can help the most, and sometimes you feel irrelevant anyway. So yeah, we tried a couple of manoeuvres in the second quarter that I called from the bench that didn't work. So I thought, oh, this is not working. That's why I went up. So the younger the side, the probably more I'll go down onto the bench.
Yep, great answer. Aaron says Jai Culley created a lot of forward pressure and was rewarded. Will we see more of him up forward this year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we, at the moment, it's what have we got available, and there's probably more young mids available than forwards. I think we probably had, and this is where it gets challenging, we probably had 2 or 3 mids that have to play forward. Young Westy, he's playing forward at the moment. He's an on-baller, and Jai as well. So, yeah, there might even be another mid there that's forward at stages. So that's, at the moment, he brings something different when he's forward. He's 194 centimetres. And he hit the scoreboard. So,
is he that tall, is he?
Yeah, he's big.
That's
tall
huge.
You?
About that, 195?
Yeah, he's tall.
Wow.
Yeah, so he can compete in the air, and he crumbs like a midfielder.
Yeah, good. Impressed with his game. Jason Elliott asks, my son and I saw Justin Langer with the group on the weekend. Can you tell us about his role at the club and how much of an impact he's having? Yeah,
he's on our board, and he's been there for a while. So he's obviously brings a wealth of knowledge from his industry and his leadership. So he's a good sounding board for me and for our leading players as well. So I think all the board travelled on the weekend, which it was pre-planned, I think.
Good. Live golf. That wasn't that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they've been very supportive, and they know what we're going through. And he's of all people knows what a bit of adversity looks like.
He's spending a bit of time with the players as well. I see him in the rooms afterwards.
Yeah.
He's trying to connect with players.
I think you've heard him speak before to the group, and that we've done that again over the off-season and into the pre-season. So, yeah, he's been an important part for the whole makeup of what we're trying to do.
Very good. Dean Byrne with the last one. Would it be worth trying Jack Darling in the back line?
No.
Correct.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he's still building back into his form. I've said this before. He missed 7 weeks pre-season, and I think there's another level he can get to. So there's a bit of frustration there, but I don't think it's too far off.
In fairness, I know it's asked Simmo, and I'll finish this one off because it's difficult for you to answer. The very best forwards in the game, just because they can play forward doesn't mean they can play back, and that's not saying anything about how good it is to be a backman because we know.
No, because you can play forward.
Correct.
Yep.
But Josh Kennedy, you would never have put Josh. Would you have ever have played?
I should have done that in his last game. How would that gone down?
I just see, Jack's a forward, and he's a good one too.
Yeah, look, he's probably going to kick the most, round about. I don't know where he sits for most goals at the footy club, but he wouldn't be too far off.
You don't waste good forwards in the back line. Be honest.
Well, you said that. Not me.
Yeah, correct. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us this week on Simmo, courtesy of ECU. Saturday night footy against the Blues this week. Let's make sure we all have a good turnout from all the fans. Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate.